Thanks for stopping by. You are listening to the video recording of our episode. You can catch our streams live most Tuesday nights at 7:30 Eastern. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to get updates about our schedule. All our stream info and links are in the description below and at links.chaoticallybalanced.com. If you would like access to our Discord community perks and to see exclusive content through Coffee, visit chaoticallybalanced.com/support. Thanks! Let's head into the adventure. Welcome, adventurers. This is a quick note to say that this is part 1 of a live stream. To gain immediate access to our episodes, please visit links.chaoticallybalanced.com or go to chaoticallybalanced.com/support. Thanks! We'll see you in the next one. Welcome, fellow adventurers, nerds, and neurodivergents. Sit back, stay hydrated, and prepare yourselves for tonight's long-awaited adventure. We apologize for the delayed start this week and the past couple weeks. We've had some scheduling delays, but we are back nonetheless. So let's jump right in. Last time we left off with our band of investigators engaging in combat. They were chipping away at the large creature's defenses, this creature that is unknown to them. Blow after blow, this creature seemed to just get angrier. It took out its mindless anger on all of its attackers. It threw Kraka like a bowling ball again. This took out Yenor, Deedle, and Lala. But they had dodged out of the way. It followed this up by slashing at them with its claws, all 3 of which had dropped to unconsciousness. It did eventually get taken down to a low enough health where it started showing some wear and tear. Then it let out a death rattle and began dealing immense amounts of damage before it collapsed. The group took some time to secure the rest of the hallway and inspect the creature. They found that it was very malnourished. It was a very malnourished individual, locked within some kind of suit of armor. There were various canisters around his armor that seemed to inject some kind of iridescent liquid into the creature. Upon finding one of these, Tyron began to freak out. As they dug for more information, alarms started blaring and guards started rushing towards one end of the ship. They were told to evacuate as another beast is heard at the other end of their hall. Bavin and his group tell them to go while they go to take care of it. He did, however, hand Yenor and Kaida a scroll of teleportation. They all leave as a group to go find Poppy. They eventually make it there, passing broken hallways and dead bodies. Poppy was fighting with a handler on the landing deck. Yenor went over and took control, but only after spotting that Poppy was protecting 2 small animals. An Elemanther puppy, and a weird 3-eyed tiny bird. Louder explosions were heard and the ship starts losing altitude quickly. Kaida, taking her time but moving swiftly, copies the teleportation circle glyphs with chalk and casts the spell. She did, however, get interrupted twice by more engines exploding. Everyone enters the complete circle, their new animals included, and Kaida casts the spell. Everyone held their breath and closed their eyes as moments passed. In a breath, they realized that they had made it to the Onyx Accord branch within Zatha. They were greeted and invited up to speak with the leaders of the Onyx Accord. Now, they make their way up to the upper levels of this guild's hall to find out more information. That is where we are going to pick up. So, you all just came out of this tense, dire situation. Stepped out of this portal, were greeted by confused, perplexed, but friendly faces. Then, this gentleman who introduces himself, or I guess for some, just reminds, but mostly for all of you, introduces himself as the Hunt Master of the Onyx Accord. Hunt Master Grawl. This large hobgoblin. And he is leading you up the stairs of this decently sized basement. Is there anything you all are doing in this moment as you are being led up the stairs? You have just been informed that there has been no contact with Bavin or his group. The airship crashed into the city of Kurag, and no one has heard any updates from the pirate assault on the supply harbor that Zara was at.
If Joaquin would kind of ask who's in charge here, we need some updates.
Well, seeing as Guildmaster Bin is currently handling a problem in one of our other branches, that would be myself. I am in charge.
Well, what can you tell us? I mean, we just came off of a ship with a fucking demon. I don't even know what the hell that thing was. What's going on? Where's Bavin?
I was hoping someone from your group could tell me where Bavin is.
Everything got chaotic when that thing attacked. I mean, I don't know, and I kind of looked to the rest of the group. You guys see where he went? Because I just jumped.
Would I know what spells Carta has? Roughly?
You know. Oh.
Nope. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yenor, you know what she can do as far as magical schools.
She can do the telepathy, right? Like she has like send message or something?
She has that right now. She was prepared for combat. She has message, which is one way. Yeah,
is that all she got?
She doesn't have sending, so it's not two-way communication.
I'm gonna ask her to send a message to Bavin because I know he can talk back.
I've tried. I don't get a response. There's just static.
Okay.
Rocco, what were you gonna say?
Well, I know we stayed behind so this way we can escape. But I'm sure he didn't give us his last resort to get out of there. I'm sure he found another way out. And he didn't actually go down with the ship. So we were hoping that you heard something of the crash. That's why we don't have any information to give to you.
Let's get into this room here first before we continue our conversation. There are eyes everywhere. And he opens these massive old double oak doors. And within there's this central, like, two half circles with chairs around them. And in the center is this giant crystal with giving off arcane projections around the room.
Crystal for the future.
It's not a future-seeing ball. It's more of a display projector. And there's a few groups. I had like 2 people in one corner and 2 people in another corner, and like 3 people in the front back of the room, all looking at different charts and maps and talking amongst themselves. You guys enter the room and you all see them turn and stand at attention for Grawl, who just led you guys in there. He just kind of nods at ease, and they go back to what they were doing. And the doors shut behind you. He walks up to the center of this room, like where the 2 half moons would meet, and touches a button, an arcane glyph, so to speak, that lights up. And then the room lights up in this purple arcane glow. All right. Now we are safe from those that may be peeking from afar. What exactly happened before the ship went down?
We fought a robot monster.
See, now your friend there, Mr. Sue, said that it was a demon.
So he would kind of put his hands up. Now, can I minor illusion, small image in my hand of what it is that we fought?
Sure. It just happened recently, so you're not going to need to roll for that. You can easily make a small image of the thing that you fought.
Yep. Fought this. Yeah, this thing.
He kind of, this tall, well, I guess it's not tall to you, Joaquin, because you're pretty tall as well, but to some of you, Lala and Yenor, this tall hobgoblin kind of walks over and kind of does still have to bend down to Joaquin's hand to inspect the image. He kind of looks around it like he's taking in all the details of it.
Joaquin holds it up to him. Need a better look?
No, I think, What exactly, how did it attack you?
I mean, it picked him up, and then Joaquin looks at Kraka and threw him at us. And it charged us. It made a lot of like clicking and hissing noises.
It choked a guy without its hands.
Do we have the container of the stuff that it was powered by or injecting itself with?
I think I grabbed it, right, Kim?
Yes, Yenor, you grabbed it and would not give it to Mr. Belfast.
Yeah, so I'll pull that out now.
May I? And he holds his hand out.
Do I trust this man?
You can make an insight check.
I'm gonna insight.
You haven't dealt directly with Huntmaster Grawl.
Thank God I have advantage. 16.
Just to show her, that was almost a natural one.
Yeah.
You trust him. He's real upfront.
I'm gonna need to get this back from you.
I'm gonna give it right back.
You better.
He looks at it. He takes it. Archivist! You see one of the people turn around. You also see Kaida look at her. Oh, and sorry. Kaida, not. I need him. Then he comes over. The archivist comes over. And Kaida looks a little confused. Didn't you help with something like this? And the archivist kind of takes it, just pulls out this monocle thing, and just, there's a little light on it. Ah, we made it in a lab for an experiment. The experiment got shut down, though, so I don't know what happened to it.
What is it?
Do you have time for a lecture?
I have time for the basic of what is in it.
All we know is it was a prototype.
Liquefied sniffle shade,
Great, of course.
but enchanted.
We're enchanting drugs now.
Oh, the liquefied. This is not just a drug. This is an energy source. Highly volatile.
What would happen if you injected that into someone?
They die.
How quickly? Immediately, slowly?
Yes,
Immediate.
in its liquid form.
What if it didn't?
Then it wasn't in its liquid form.
In its
Okay.
gaseous form?
Oh, in its gaseous form, that was never tested. It was theorized that it could potentially induce something like a, and he points to his partner. Barbarian rate, like a barbarian rate,
Who funded your
but
studies?
10 times worse.
That figures.
He did get kind of strong before he died.
Yes, inhaling too much of it will lead to death.
Who was funding the study into this?
And unfortunately, I have some questions for you three, which I cannot answer that question until I get my questions answered. You do not have high enough clearance levels for the answer to that question. You do, Miss Graybreeze, but your friends do not.
I'm gonna bend over and I'm gonna put my ear right in front of his mouth. Now, please.
Let me have them answer my questions first, then we can share with the group.
You're not fine.
I believe your name, little one, is Lala. Would that be correct?
I am not now, nor have I ever been a pirate.
That's what I expected you to say. And he motions for one of the other people. Headhunter. Yes, sir. Bring that file over here. The headhunter comes over, brings a file. He opens it up. It says here you were commissioned by a Captain Smallbones. I believe her name was Venix Smallbones, but you were only commissioned for a short time before your unfortunate capture.
Capture. How do you know that's even me? Doesn't look anything like me.
We also have here that Your name hadn't appeared until an orphanage had burned down over near Arbor.
I mean, my loving and wonderful parents would probably disagree, but sadly they are on vacation far off, looking for places to retire.
You're very good at keeping up appearances. You are not under a criminal investigation, mind you.
No.
And he pulls another file out that's a little charred on the edges. Does this look familiar to you?
What do I see?
So make a investigation check.
Mm, 16.
A 16?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me go over here real quick. I need to check something. So you see a file burnt and singed around like the edges and corners. Inside, some of the papers charred, some of the papers missing. However, you see something on many of the pages next to identification. The number sign 0912.
Oh. Where'd you get that?
Well, when an orphanage that had taken a very large donation from the Onyx Accord all of a sudden burns down, we are obliged to investigate that orphanage.
Lots of kids went missing.
We are aware. We have been searching since it has burned down for any of the survivors. It seems we have found one. Thanks to Investigator Gravebreeze here, unknowingly making our job a little that much easier.
Didn't know you all cared so much.
The orphanage may not have cared, but the Onyx Accord does. Unfortunately, the orphanage was under private ownership at the time of donation. We had plans of buying it out, and then it burned down. Don't you find that a little odd that when we were talking plans to buy the orphanage that it burns down?
I don't know much about it, to be completely honest.
Well, I'd be willing to stake my reputation and the Onyx Accord's very powerful pull in the governmental space in saying that you had nothing to do with what the pirates are claiming you tried to do. Would that assumption be correct?
True. I also didn't have anything to do with the orphanage burning down. 3 meals a day, and my friends being there.
Did not suspect you for the orphanage burning down.
Well, I'm just making sure.
We did also get word from Lady Lantana. Not Ren. The other one. The more pushy one. That you were all deputized by the Arlegian tribes under her daughter's order. We are obliged to officially recognize that deputation and make you each members of the Onyx Accord. Therefore, no longer labeling you, Investigator Greybreeze, as a pirate napper. They will officially be investigators, probationary, under your supervision.
I have no clue what you're talking about, pirate napping. I don't nap people.
Mhm.
I have not and have never been a pirate.
Yeah, see?
He closes the files. As long as you stick to that story, as convincing as it is, you shouldn't run into any other troubles. And he stamps the slightly charred file with a closed stamp, and he hands them both back to the archivist. And then he reaches in his pocket and hands something to you, holds something out for you, Lala.
We'll take it. What is?
It is a badge that is similar to the one you've seen Ynor carry. However, this one is smaller and has less embellishments on it.
Doesn't
And there is
put glitter on it, does it?
It doesn't what?
Doesn't become null if I put glitter on it, does it?
No.
Cool.
You can decorate it however you like. But as you investigate it further, as you look, there is this hand-braided rope on it. We had found that with your file in the ashes of the orphanage, and we figured we'd tie it to your badge.
Thank you. Do I know what it is?
Just looks like something that was
Like a friendship bracelet?
of some sort, something like that. Something akin to that.
Did you find any of the other missing kids?
Let's see. And he just motions to the back. He doesn't even look at the back there. He just motions to the back, and it's just picks up this big box of case files and just plops on the table. And he does the 2-finger thing walking through. And he pulls out 1 file, 2 files. Eventually, he pulls out 5 different files.
Are you?
No. These it?
Of everyone that was in that orphanage, staff and occupants, we have only found 5 people. 2 staff members deceased from wounds they incurred during the fire. 1 staff member who refuses to talk to us, and 2 others like yourself.
I had a friend go missing. I couldn't find her anywhere.
Do you know your friend's name or designation?
Designation? I don't know. She was like 6. Her name was
Her number. Her name or her number?
Her name was Zeneca. We didn't call each other by those things.
Well, either is helpful because we have put together names and numbers before. He looks through the files. Unfortunately, we have not found her yet. But if we have not found her yet, that means we also have not found her body, and which means she is most likely alive somewhere.
She's a tough kid.
Seems you are too, if you can keep up with Investigator Graybreeze and Captain Sue.
What's that supposed to mean?
She just kind of looks at them both.
Investigator Graybreeze. Not to bring up old wounds.
I'm a saint.
You survived an assassination attempt in an alley. You're tough. It takes someone else who is equally as tough to survive traveling with you.
I'm a delight to be around. It does not take that much effort. Just ask her.
I didn't say effort. I said toughness.
It takes nothing.
Yeah. You ended up disguised as a pirate guard.
And I saved 3 lives.
And condemned how many more by breaking them out of prison?
I mean, I helped. I mean, I'm not now, nor have I ever been a pirate.
She's just kind of jut her chin out in indignation.
I appreciate the life saving of someone who is innocent. It gives us some more information as well.
Yeah, you'd have never known.
However, pirate attacks have become relentless.
They were going to become relentless anyway. Not everything is tied to what I do. I'm blessed by the goddess. I am not a goddess.
He waves to someone else again. He brings up this file. Investigator Graybreeze, let's take a break from your pirate friends. And he slams this thick file down on the table. This your file.
File of what?
Everything.
There's a lot of good deeds in there.
Yes. Not a lot of bad ones.
Nope. Like I said, I'm a saint.
But you're also tough. Which means you get yourself into situations that require tough people to be with you.
Listen.
Or did you not negotiate with a pirate slaver to get out of it?
That shouldn't be on record yet.
There have been people of the unscrupulous type asking for a certain ship's whereabouts.
There's a lot of ships, huh?
Yeah, this one seemed to have the writing Sue sailing on the side of it. In fact, Captain Sue, we have a meeting with your father later.
He's not dead. That's good news.
Oh,
Both about his missing ship, which I will give you an alibi for, and also why his shipments have been plagued by pirates.
I mean, we'd like to know that ourselves. We actually came across a ship that was in disarray.
We'll get to that part. Now, I believe our turtle friend here, your name is Kraka?
Yeah.
You weren't actually a pirate. Really?
No, I thought I was until a couple of days before I ended up in that jail cell. Mistaken to be a pirate, but I really wasn't.
And you were under the ownership of Captain Hoppy Fishhook, I believe.
Where did you get this information?
Oh, we have eyes and ears everywhere. You can't operate a guild without information.
Seems like you've known that I was a slave before I knew I was a slave.
Unfortunately, we're not in the business of busting out every slave that we come across. We are, however, in the business of gathering information. And your fortunate circumstances of running into Investigator Graybreeze in an unsanctioned undercover operation Which is why Captain Sue, she had commissioned your ship for a potential escape and not an Onyx Accord vessel.
Hey, I'm one to support local business.
It was just one friend coming to another for help. I would have given it to her regardless.
Fair, and had you requested military aid from the Onyx Accord, we would have given it.
It would have been so much less fun.
Leaving the main pirate harbor in disarray and on fire does not constitute fun.
You weren't there. You don't know how much enjoyment I had.
You poked the bee's nest with a fire stick. The bees are fire resistant.
So they'll be fine.
Yeah, those are bad.
Yeah, they're poking us with fire sticks now.
We should become fire resistant.
He just gives you a look.
There's plenty of water right there. I point out to the bay. What direction of the bay?
Doesn't seem like you've had much choice in your life thus far, Kraka. So I will give you some choice now. Are you happy being under the supervision of Investigator Graybreeze and Captain Sue?
I mean, they enjoy my cooking.
Yes, but I'm asking what you are happy with.
Well, I enjoy to cook, and they allow me to cook for them, and so yes, I like staying with them.
Okay. In that case, and he pulls out another badge. This one was made from some turtle shells. We had a couple of younger turtles wash up on shore that were unfortunately already deceased. So we made use of their shells to make this badge, thinking that it may come in handy one day. And he hands it to you.
Offering him corpse bits of his own people? You guys are savage.
They're really dark.
Thank you.
They're not his own people, and we thought he might appreciate the reuse of nature. If not, I have a normal badge I can give you.
I mean, you're not wrong, but neither are they. So I'm going to accept this gift because of what it means, but I'm still not sure how I feel about it.
If you ever want to swap it out, I will give you a normal badge. But you are now also officially under the supervision of Investigator Graybreeze. Now, and he motions again, and a file, almost as thick as yours, Ynor, gets plopped down on the desk. And he kind of puts a hand over the name. Does anyone want to guess whose file this is?
I'm gonna point at my brain. Shut off. Deal.
Does anyone else want to guess whose file this is?
Doodle.
Yes, this would be a file for Miss Deedle Shadow. Sure, she didn't tell any of you her last name, though, did she?
You have
Please
a last
no.
First, Miss Shadow.
Oh, hi. Nice to see you there. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying the show. You can support us further by leaving a like and review. Spread the fun by sharing with your friends. We're sure they'll have a good time. You can also help us by heading over to our Ko-fi page at chaoticallybalanced.com/support, linked in the description below. and seeing what exclusive content is available to you. Alright, it's time to get back into the adventure.
I have heard through the grapevine that you have inquired to various information dealers about the whereabouts of your family.
Maybe.
What if I said we had a lead on the whereabouts of your family? Would you be more open to sharing some more information with your potential supervisor and the Onyx Accord in exchange for information and the resources to support a potential rescue mission?
I could, yes.
Investigator Graybreed. Are you willing to take her on under your supervision? Officially.
I already have been.
We heard some reports from some of our scouts at Zara's fort that you and Wakeem had some suspicions about Miss Shadow.
It's always good to be suspicious of.
You weren't suspicious of Kraka.
He used to be a slave.
You weren't suspicious of Lala.
She's a child. No offense. I'm gonna look down at her.
Taken, but I've been putting it off.
It's fine. You can kick my ass later. Don't stick me with Nosferatu.
Ah, yes. The Dark Dagger.
You're not taking it from her.
I would never dream of it.
Good.
But our archivist would like to analyze it.
We were talking about Deedle first.
That is up to Deedle.
I'm gonna swing my head to look at her.
I'm gonna nod.
Some of the information in this file is sensitive to you, Investigator Graybreeze, and to you, Captain Sue.
Can I read the file, Deedle?
I'm going to share with the class.
Oh, great. Perfect. She's gonna lean forward.
Are you sure?
Listen, you gotta tell me now.
He opens the file. New mercenary on the block. It's the first note in the file. Name. Deedle. Last name unknown. Then more notes and more pages, just various demographic information. You know, the usual stuff, and then he gets to the other notes. Deedle Shadow. Hired.
Yes.
Looks like you had done some work for some unscrupulous characters.
Indeed.
Looks like you've done a lot of work for the Spectre Syndicate and related entities,
Yes, sir.
but none of it was violent work.
No.
You somehow avoided doing violent work. You took on mostly guard jobs and shipment runs, maybe passing along information, but never taking on the dirty work, per se.
I'm better at doing what I do. I don't like to hurt people.
Would you like to explain to Investigator Greybreeze what happened the day you originally found her? Or would you like me to explain what happened the day you had originally found her?
You can go ahead and explain.
Investigator Graybreeze. The prison cell was not the first time you had met Miss Deedle Shadow.
I'm gonna arch an eyebrow.
I'm surprised you and Captain Sue don't recall, but that day was traumatic.
I do remember being almost dead, so I have an excuse.
You also remember the shadow of a large figure standing over you before you lost consciousness.
Okay.
You were attacked in that alley. You were unarmed. You were just doing a patrol. A group of bandits, hired by the Spectre Syndicate, had been coming after you. Couldn't get a message out to Captain Sue or your wife. Ultimately, you were left on the ground to die. That's what you think. It's the story that's been told. It's the story that is in the official record of your attack. Deedle was guarding a warehouse that day. Happened to be a warehouse on your patrol route. You've passed Deedle multiple times on your patrol route. You didn't pay any attention to the guards standing outside of warehouses. You were used to it. So they were just in the background. Didn't take note of it. You weren't an investigator then. You were just a guard, a cop.
Just
Well,
on the beat.
Deedle heard the commotion from her post. At risk of not getting paid and being blacklisted and getting hunted herself, she left her post that was given to her by the Spectre Syndicate to see what the commotion was. She came around that corner and saw you beaten and bloodied on the ground, and your 3 attackers still going at it. And she cut those attackers down. The reason you haven't been able to find your attackers is because they're already dead.
And y'all fucking knew. I've been looking over my fucking shoulder for years at this point, and none of y'all decided to tell me.
We didn't tell you because it stopped you from going into an existential crisis at the time, which your wife was worried about.
I'm just gonna glare at Kaida.
She didn't know all the details, mind you. We didn't tell her that the attackers were dead, and we didn't tell her that it was Deedle. We just told her to keep encouraging you to hunt this down.
I can hunt other things now. Think of how better a cop I would have been if I wasn't chasing ghosts.
Also, you weren't chasing ghosts. Your attackers might be dead, but they're not the ones that wanted you killed.
I'm just gonna turn to Deedle. By the way, thank you. You could have told me earlier, though.
Actually, she couldn't. Any information that she gives about anything to do with her past endangers her family. The Spectre Syndicate has her family hostage.
Alright, well then we gotta get them back. We'll save Babin and all the others, and then we'll get her family. Bing bang boom, right?
Now we go. He looks at you, and then looks back at you, Deedle. That would be up to her on how she wants to handle this. Right now, we are in a protected room from peeking eyes and listening ears. The second we leave the protection of this room, she is being watched again. She is not allowed to make any moves to try and rescue her family. Currently.
So why you're so quiet?
Mm-hmm.
But this room is currently protected. So, if there is any information whatsoever that you have, Deedle, that could assist us in our investigation, because we can move unseen.
There's a lot of dirty people in this world. Very many.
I can clear the room further and have my associates leave.
I would feel a little bit more comfortable. Less that know, better I am.
And he kind of claps real loud. All right, clear the room. And you see all the people around the room kind of put their stuff down. Oh, here. Investigator Graves, I believe this is yours. And he hands you back the canister.
I pocket it.
Archivist, I will call you back in to investigate the dagger once we are done with our conversation. No, I am not taking it from you, Lala, but he would just like to scan it with his monocle to make sure that it's fine.
Will it hurt him?
No. The same monocle that you saw him scan the container that you had with.
All right.
It's just an arcane scan. It's not a actual scan. And the room clears and closes the door again. He also shuts down the crystal in the center of the room, so now it's just giving off light. Alright, it's just me and you all. Against security protocol, but technically two of you are also part of the Onyx Accord, so not really against security protocol. Deedle, if you would, give us any information you can that may help us in our investigation.
I don't even know where to begin.
You make a history check, and that'll help me guide you on where to begin.
This- Okay, why is this not working? There we go. Okay, there we go. Finally. 25.
Come through. 25 for a barbarian. That's a pretty good history check.
Mm-hmm.
So you have ties to the Ishanian province, the Ishanian kingdom. Specifically, you have ties to a tribe. Let me get the name of the... I don't want that. I want provinces.
Air commune.
You have ties to the city of Dustalver that is near Kurag. You are actually just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Dustulver, and that is on the Ilarian province of Ishania. There's also your old tribe is there, your old tribe of Leonin and Tabaxi. You were never given any details about your family other than they are safe for now and you need to do what you are told or they will not be safe. You can, however, pass off the information of who your contacts were in the Spectre Syndicate, as well as what things you moved, but you don't really have any specifics about the upper ranks. You can also confirm your the names of your family.
Alright. Well, the organization I was through was the Pirate Commune. We're always up against the Arctic Alliance, the Kingdom of Ishania, and Berdellin.
Faldarian Shogunate.
Thank you.
Yeah, the pirate commune doesn't like those three specifically. But they have expanded their operations to also attack the Onyx Accord, the neutral powers. The other neutral powers. The pirate commune is technically also a neutral power. I believe your parents' names are Boria and Edvar.
Yes, I also have a sister and brother.
Yeah, I believe that would be Tila and Dax.
Mm-hmm. I do know that there could be a very large amount of Shuffle Shade being moved.
Shade? Being moved where?
I'm not sure, but I could tell you where it was from.
That would be helpful. So they're moving Sniffle Shade out of here. And he kind of takes some notes down. I believe there were some large Sniffle Shade movements you were keeping an eye on before you went off on your adventure. Investigator Grey Breeze.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, Deedle, that your old clan does miss you. We have been in sporadic contact with them as they have some scouting abilities that surpass even our own for some things. The leaders of your clan, they're also counselors of the Peldesian Council.
Yes.
The Tabaxi sisters, Dionysus and Devlin, have given their full support in any rescue mission that we attempt, as these are also clan members that have been kidnapped, not just your family.
Very much appreciated.
However, and he looks back at you, Lala, this is where your orphanage comes in, little lady.
Oh.
We have had scouts from our branch in Arbor. They have been keeping an eye on the area where your orphanage was, and there seems to be some kind of activity there, unsanctioned activity.
At a burned down orphanage site?
Yes, well, when we had originally cleared it out, the basement and the lower levels were fine. Just the above ground was taken out.
Ah, files and children. I see the murder goals.
We're not sure that it was intended to hurt anybody. We think it was intended to stop the sale of the orphanage and allow for these unscrupulous activities to continue.
She looks at Deal. So apparently this shadow company that you work for or being held hostage by is just full of top tier geniuses where they set a building full of kids on fire and don't expect people to get hurt.
He looks at he's still looking at you, Lala. Do you remember anything from your time at the orphanage? Specifically, if there was anything weird going on, anybody there that wasn't a staff member and didn't really belong?
She kind of shrugs. He came in and out all the time. Staff turned over quite a lot. There was only a handful of people who were there all the time. And I don't know. It's not like they read us bedtime stories.
Well, I believe finding orphanage survivors, investigating the orphanage, and saving Deedle's family will all be in the same place. We have very limited reports of there being some type of trafficking happening in that area as well.
Trafficking? You don't think anybody took the missing kids like that, right?
If you well, at least Investigator Graybreeze and Captain Sue should, but maybe Miss Shadow would remember this as well. Not too long ago, the prince of the Ishanian Kingdom's kids were taken and held hostage, rescued by some of the individuals that you have already come into contact with.
Yeah, but we're just a bunch of orphans. Who's gonna kidnap us for anything?
They weren't. The prince's children weren't captured for ransom. They were captured for experimentation.
Why would you take some rich people's kids just to experiment on them when you could hold them for a ransom? What is with these idiots?
Well, Captain Sue, if you could please show me that image again.
Well, until snap his fingers and minor illusion the police again. And like, oh, I do remember hearing about that. Bavin rescued him with another kid, with a kid with that kid, didn't he?
You're a little bubbly, horribly.
Oh, sorry, is that better?
That's a little better.
Okay. No, he was just saying how Bavin, how he recalled that Bavin and a group of other adventurers were the ones that rescued those kids.
Yeah, so it was actually Bavin, Lady Wren, Lady Zara, the sharpshooter and mechanical savant that is Jackson, and what was the other one's name? I don't remember, because it was Dee's character. The barbarian you had met that was traveling with Bavin. They all seem to stick together. Draven. So Draven, Jackson, Lady Wren, Lady Zara, and the alchemist Bavin. They were the ones responsible for rescuing the kidnapped kids. That's why they are held in such esteemed regard. But there are still missing kids, and ones that are not as high profile, and that falls to us and our allies. However, the Caldesian Council is currently trying to stave off another war, as the Shogunate, the Confederacy, and the Ishanians all quarrel over land at the border. Unfortunately, the Methshari want nothing to do with another war, and the Arctic Alliance is currently dealing with internal strife and conflict within their cities about refugees that they don't have the resources. So we have been relying heavily on both our hired investigators, our contracted merchant ships, and he looks back at you, Joaquin, and those in between, and he looks across all of you, Deedle, Kraka, and Lala. But first, and he takes another badge out. Miss Shadow, I would understand if you did not want to have a badge on your person, but nevertheless, this badge would be for you to be officially put under the supervision of Investigator Graybreeze.
I'll take it and I'll clasp it to my belt.
Okay. Now, with that out of the way, the city of Kurag. The ship coming down, that airship came down. What you had run into, it's not the first time that we've heard of reports of some kind of bestial mechanical thing attacking people. There have been scattered reports all over various cities. I believe you heard of quote-unquote vampire nightly attackings in Fear Day, and reports of that happening in other cities. Some people trying to blame the ominous vampire lord that lives in the mountains in the northern part of this continent here. You're on this the continent that he lives on now. Upon further inspection of these reports, it seems the individuals were merely only drained of blood because of the injuries that were inflicted upon them. Did this thing that attacked you have claws? And he looks at all of you.
Yes, I think
No.
it is.
Unnatural or otherwise, it had claws. Long, nasty claws. It is our belief that while there may be some vampires active in some cities, the attacks and the missing people and the bodies being found in rivers and alleys, quote unquote, drained with blood, is just these creatures being let loose and then being pulled back in to create chaos, to test them, to see what they can do and what they can't do. I believe the final test was on that airship. That creature you fought was not the only one that was aboard that ship. As far as magical powers, one of you said that it had strangled somebody without touching them. There are no reports of them possessing magical powers. However, there are reports of shadowy figures around where these creatures are being seen. Not shadowy figures like figures hiding in the shadows. Figures made of shadow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Had you happened to see some of the shadow?
Yeah, lots of it. I was up close.
You let her get up close?
She's her own individual person.
You called her a child.
She is a child, a demon child. We don't take any ownership for the demon child. Let the demon do it itself.
What was that?
You're warbly again.
Oh, damn it. I'm going to drop out and then come back in. I'll be right back. Is that any better?
That is much better.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Sorry about that. He would just say that, again, Lala is a demon child, is from his perspective, and the demon child does what it wants, and we just kind of try and clean up the mess as best we can.
Well,
She's also got Nosferatu.
Another reason she's a demon child.
what is Nosferatu?
He's my pet ancient god eater / dagger.
You kind of just see him give you a look for a second.
Yeah.
Did you say God Eater?
I mean, yeah, reasonably. It's mostly the blood, not like the whole god, but we all have our preferences.
May I see Nosferatu?
You're not a god, are you?
No.
Do you have any god's bloods?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Just be careful not to nick yourself anyway, but I can't control him if you have any god's bloods and you nick yourself. She'll take it out and hand it over very slowly.
He holds it. He holds both hands out and just kind of holds it and inspects it. Then you see him think for a second. He hands you back Nosferatu. Does anyone know the actual name of this dagger?
Basilis's tooth.
Like the moon?
Yeah, that's what he said. Something about a moon. But he's just a tooth, which I thought was kind of denigrating on the part of his whole being. So he has his own name now.
He reaches back into his box and pulls out another file. This one just says, The Moons. He flips it open. We have had some reports about an individual clad in a bone-like armor calling themselves the Warrior of Desolus.
Doing what?
We're not entirely sure. It seems as though every time one of our informants or scouts gets wind of him or them, they get wind of us and disappear.
So they're not doing anything. There's just a shady character and keeping whole ass tabs on him just because he's kind of weird.
Well, he also walks into well-known places of syndicate hangout spots. So yes, we keep tabs on him. Them.
Interesting. Well, my tooth didn't come from them. Nosferatu.
No, but they might come for your tooth.
Well, they cannot have Nosferatu. He likes me.
Lala, in your head you hear, find out more information about that man, that thing.
Doesn't sound like they have more information, but
Get the file. Take the file.
can I see that? She holds her hand out.
See what, this file?
Yes. I'm a deputy now. She waves her badge.
Yenor, he hands the file to you.
Lala turns her hand to Yenor.
Do I know why?
Why he's handing the file to you or
Yeah.
why she wants it?
No, why? I have a good guess of why she wants it. Why did he give it to me? I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna hold it out of his reach.
Why does she want it? She didn't care less about it previously.
Oh, the dagger talks to her. I'm gonna hand it to her.
Yeah.
It's sentient.
Yeah.
I mean, was that not clear?
No. It was not clear.
Don't worry, it's very nice.
I mean, as long as you don't have god blood. Lala will read said file. What's in here? Are there pictures?
There are pictures of, they're like stakeout pictures. Like they're blurry and really far away and security camera like it's the silhouette of something. There's only one good up close picture and there's this person. The up close picture just has them bone armor clad hand putting on this bone helmet. It looks like it's made of bone. You're not entirely sure.
It's a Cubone.
Warrior of Desolus.
You can't see the face at all.
You can make out facial features, but like barely because the pictures suck.
Is it white or dark skinned? Is it like tall? Can I get any concept of like what species or race it is?
The creature is tall.
All creature, bone armor. Got it.
And like this armor has like spiked pauldrons. There looks to be various other types of smaller weapons like daggers, knives. He seems to have a sword or spear or javelin on their back. It's a full suit of bone armor. It says the warrior of Desolus did not appear until the most recent triple celestial event.
Okay. And there's no clues as to what it's been doing with these syndicates. It's just kind of seen around them at times.
Yes. You also remember the most recent celestial event was all 3 moons were in their new moon phase for 3 nights about a week ago.
We were sailing at that time.
Yes. You were sailing at that time.
Was it the Desolus moon?
All 3 moons. So yes, Desolus would have been one of them.
I see.
There are also some like sticky notes in here that mention references to a file about primordial creatures.
That's me.
No, like the primordial creatures.
Yes.
The big 3, but there's something that also says there's potentially a 4th one. There are some scribbles of speculation that they specifically say this is opinion, not fact. Like they're notated in that manner. But they say that Desolus is not a moon, but a very, very large creature.
Suspicious.
And that's about it. Not much else is known about this warrior of Desolus.
So it just appeared. Interesting. I will hand it back.
Is there any other information that you all would like to share with me at this moment in time? Captain Sue, you had mentioned something about a ship in disarray.
Exactly.
What ship was in disarray?
Well, it was one of our vessels, one of our Sioux sailing vessels. It was being captained by, and I apologize, I forget the guy's name, but he didn't have the best record with our company. But it was found. Oh,
Was this the vessel that had the port that Zara was at on alert?
yes.
That vessel.
That's the one.
Did anything weird happen on that vessel?
I mean, on top of the whole area just kind of being completely tossed, is that where we found?
Yep, that's where Nosferatu came from.
And then he gives her just this big deadpan, annoyed look. Yeah, that's where we found the thing. It was sealed away in just this kind of really just, and he kind of shudders when he thinks about it because the magic felt so dark and disgusting. Just as far as magic's concerned, it's icky, to say the least.
Beneath the rotted potatoes.
Did anything else weird happen on that ship?
So we
I'm
were
sorry?
the The puppies? We were attacked by the pirates with the puppies.
Didn't someone get stuck in the area? Did Crocker get stuck?
And the Bavin. Bavin got attacked. and fucking-
Bavin got attacked.
Ah, okay.
How did Bavin get attacked?
He said they just appeared and caught him by surprise.
Hmm. Where is that ship now?
We tried to tow it. I think we towed it in with us, didn't we?
Yep. So it went down with the other ship.
So it's in Curag
Mm-hmm.
with your vessel,
Yes.
or should I say your father's vessel?
Well, our vessel. And he kind
We
of.
don't need to get into pedantics.
What's my name? Damn it! My name is on the boat. It's our vessel.
My apologies.
Appreciate it.
Lala, would I be allowed to have my archivist take a quick look at Nosferatu?
As long as I can come with.
He'll be coming back into this room.
Okay. Does he have any god's blood?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And you see him kind of just walk over the door and do a quiet knock rhythm, and then it cracks open. He's like, he whispers something, then closes it, and then opens again. The gentleman that was in here before comes in again with the monocle, puts the monocle, and it's like, ah, yes, an actual piece of the moon.
I mean, maybe?
May I?
She holds him out. Don't cut.
And he kind of adjusts his monocle again, just leans in, his hands like clasped behind his back as he's not touching, he's just looking at it. Mm-hmm. That is most certainly a piece of the moon.
Like a moon rock?
Like Desolus. That is a piece of Desolus.
Right. But it's a moon. So it's made of like rocks or cheese or something that moons are normally made of. Like
Well,
moons aren't usually made of teeth.
did you happen to read the file that is right there? And he points to the file on the table.
Yeah. I mean, some speculation about just
Those
us
are
being
my speculations. Thank you very much.
I mean, they're good speculations. Excellent.
Moons are not made of cheese, nor are they only made of rock.
Have you seen every moon in all of the universes?
I can't say that I have.
Exactly. So you can't say that there are no moons made of cheese. It is a possibility.
That is a fair assumption. I can say, however, the 3 moons above us, none of them are made of cheese.
I'll take it.
They are made of minerals and rocks and metal and potentially other material. However,
Like teeth?
Desolus is interesting. Desolus doesn't move in orbit like the other ones do. It kind of moves in its own unique way.
A way
Almost
that
like,
suggests it's alive?
in some way, in some manner of speaking, yes, or something within the moon is alive.
Desolus, what do you know about this?
History tells us that Desolus was a captured asteroid between the two moons' gravities. But I'm inclined to believe that history was written incorrectly.
So we've got a planet-sized creature with teeth the size of smaller than me.
Could just be shrunken down due to lack of nutrients.
Oh, totally. My dagger's malnutritioned. What a terrible dagger owner I am.
And its nutrition seems to be that of, as you put it, gods.
It has been getting bigger.
There's also theories about if that moon is in fact a creature and the devastation of when the ancient primordials walked the earth with mythical creatures that are unbeknownst to us today, some of which you may call dragons. What is hiding on that moon, I wonder? And he starts going off on a tangent, and Grawl just kind of steps in and is like, all right, okay, that's enough for right now. You are dismissed. And he kind of turns him around and pushes him out the door.
This guy's going off on about dragons too? I mean, what the heck is going on here?
He's a conspiracy theorist. He's just a very intelligent conspiracy theorist.
I mean, he's talking about dragons on the moon. That sounds like crazy talk here.
I thought he was a scientist. Why do you keep conspiracy theorists on staff?
Because he's smart.
I mean, how smart can you be if you think dragons are on the moon?
Do you think dragons are not on the moon? Do you have any proof to say that dragons aren't on the moon?
I mean, I feel like we all know that they're the stuff of myth, right? You know, bedtime stories. Ooh, and he just kind of like, and he minor illusions what he thinks looks like a dragon.
So what does Joaquin think a dragon looks like?
Okay, like Godzilla, but with wings that are too small to actually carry him.
Okay.
So if Godzilla and Mothra had a baby.
Basically.
Okay.
And breathing, breathing fire. I think the stories he's heard have them breathing fire.
Okay. It's a very interesting depiction, Captain Sue.
I mean, it's what I read in a book, right?
That's fair. Did you teach him to read? And he looks at you, Investigator Grey Breeze.
Oh, he's so funny. He thinks he's funny.
Yunor just shrugs with a smirk.
Listen, Captain Sue. You may behave yourself on Ong's premises, but we hear through the whispers of your extracurricular activities.
I'm sorry, go on, continue. I thought you were going to finish your alluring statement.
No, that's just where I was ending the statement is believe my statement was self-explanatory.
Slander.
Do I recognize this guy in any way?
You recognize him as one of the high-ranking officials of the Onyx Accord. But nothing else stands out.
No, because Joaquin has gone to certain clubs, and these clubs have masks and try and conceal identities. So I'm just curious if perhaps I might recognize his gait or his form in any way.
Nope.
No? Okay.
He doesn't seem like to go into the field. I have to reconnect the party map. Let's reconnect it. Mr. Sue and Investigator Graybreeze. The older Mr. Sue would like to speak with you and your group, but that will be in our lobby, not in this secure room. He does not have the clearance to come into this room. The only reason Captain Sue has the clearance is because he's traveling with you. And your wife. Obviously, she has the clearance to be in this room. Joaquin. Yes, all of you got deputized.
Okay.
But let us exit and go on to the next order of business.
Yep. I'll follow.
At that, we are going to take our break before we introduce the older Mr. Sue. Thank you all for tuning in thus far, and we will be back here momentarily, so stay tuned.
I'm so excited to meet Joaquin's dad.
Indeed. Joaquin does love and respect his papa.
Such a good
And after,
dad.
what was that?
Such a good dad.
He's a great dad. Matched only by a greater mother. Because Mrs. Sue is quite literally a saint.
As well as a marketing genius.
As well as a marketing genius.
We will see you all here in a few moments.
Yep. Come on back now.
Welcome, adventurers. This is a quick note to say that this is part 1 of a live stream. To gain immediate access to our episodes, please visit links.chaoticallybalanced.com or go to chaoticallybalanced.com/support. Thanks. We'll see you in the next one.
Another one in the bag of holding. Ha! You can catch us live most Tuesday nights at 7:30 Eastern. To get the latest information, head over to links.chaoticallybalanced.com, linked in the description below. While there, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us. You can get access to exclusive content through Coffee by visiting chaoticallybalanced.com/support. Enough of that. We'll see you next time.